TraderJud here, back with you for another weekly Forex Outlook video. Today is Tuesday, September 17th, I believe, or 18th, excuse me. Tuesday, September 18th. This will be for the trading week of September 16th through September 21st. And so yeah, this is my first video back. It's been 4 weeks now since I've done a video. First and foremost, let me apologize for taking that leave of absence. A lot of stuff has just changed in my life. Most notably, I have decided to go back to college to finish my finance degree. And so I started back to college 3 weeks ago. Thus the week-long, or I guess the month-long absence. And then also last week, I broke a bone in my ankle, and so that just set some other things back. And so the culmination of those two things has resulted in me having to take a step back from doing the weekly Forex Outlook videos, as well as some of the other projects that I was working on. But I'm back, and I will be continuing these video series. I will be doing the weekly Forex Outlook videos once a week, towards the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I'm not going to set a for sure day of the week yet, because my schedule is going to be a little bit more hectic than it was when I first started doing these videos. And then I will also do a weekly recap video, which will be on either Friday night or Saturday morning. One of those two days for sure. It'll be either Friday or Saturday. And yeah, so that's kind of laying out the weekly videos, what those are going to be like. And then I'm also going to continue working on the projects that I was working on with doing the Indicator 101 series and possibly some other interesting series as well. I've talked about it, but I haven't done any technology sort of anything, and I do want to do that as well. So I'm going to try to devise how to set up a technology series or a few technology videos as it's relative to traders. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's 10 pairs. Starting off with EU, we can see that EU has really been ranging. We had this little dip down right here, but for the most part, EU has been ranging between these two zones, and that's where price currently is at. We can see a good rejection off of this top, or this middle zone, I guess, right here. Where price is currently at, it's stuck in between that zone and this trend line. So we're going to have to see what price does in the next, I don't know, few candlesticks to get a better feel for where price is going to go. I do think that if we do get a break above this middle zone, and for sure this top zone, that we'll see good upside movement. However, market structure is still telling us that this is trending downwards, and so if we do see a break of this trend line, then we'll for sure be looking for either a retest of this zone down here or a retest of this trend line way down here. That's kind of what we got for EU. We're just waiting on price to tell us what's going to happen with that. UJ is up next. We can see UJ broke through this top support and resistance level, and it looks like it should retest this zone up here, if not break up above it. UJ is trending upwards. We can see from market structure that it has been trending upwards for a while. Some people will argue that this is a break of structure to the downside right here, but if you do believe that, then this is right back at it, a break of structure to the upside, a higher low, and now this will be a higher high as well. So we are still trending upward with UJ. Since we did get a break of this horizontal line, I'll be looking for some sort of retest before buying it up to this level. We could potentially see significant buys if this zone up top is broken. Something else to kind of just point out is that the 112.5 is right here as well, and that is a quarter point. So it's just something to be aware of, that you could see price manipulation at the 112.5. So just be aware of that. If we were to look at the weekly time frame, I'm pretty sure that this would look like a hammer, or it would have a large wick to the upside. Not 100% positive on that, but pretty good likelihood that that's what it would look like. It would look like a rejection of the 112.5. Looking at gold next, we can see gold is dancing between these two zones. It's been consolidating for a couple of weeks now. Gold has been trending downward for quite some time. We can see this large downtrend right here, as well as the retest, multiple retests of this trend line to the downside. I do have this trend line drawn upwards. We do have the two zones in between where price is right now, or I guess above and below where price is right now. So we're just kind of waiting for price to commit one direction or another. Still am bearish on the outlook of this. However, because it has been bearish for so long, we should see some sort of long-term correction coming relatively soon. Maybe not just yet, but pretty quickly. I do expect for this to go bullish. EUR AUD is up next. We can see that we got a break and a retest of this trend line that I drew. I actually drew these out this morning, so it was about 10 o'clock when I drew these out, and I saw the break, which is why I drew it the way that it did. You can see that it retested, and then we got a bearish engulfing candle, and it is currently moving bear, or the current candle is also bearish. We are sitting in a zone, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue bearish. We could see a reversal out of the zone. However, we do have a lower high, and now looks like we're setting up for a lower low. And if we do get that, then I would not be surprised to see price come all the way down here and retest the previous market structure to the left. So adversely, if we do get more bullish movement, we can throw a Fibonacci retracement on this and watch the retracement. And if we do get a reversal pattern off of the Fibonacci retracement level, let's just go ahead and throw it on there, just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So we'll throw this up here. We can see it's currently retesting the 23.6. I say retesting because it's already been tested once. So we're looking for a significant rejection of one of these Fibonacci levels to go continue to the upside. We can see this bullish push up. So it would not surprise me if we see some sort of minor retracement followed by more momentum upwards. If we zoom out some more, though, we can see that this has been trending upwards on a long-term time frame. However, it's been a very slow trend upwards. So just something to be aware of, I guess, if nothing else. GBP NZD is up next. We can see the double top zone. There's also a horizontal line that I drew right there. The zone is relevant because of the double top, but the horizontal line is coming from market structure way over here. In fact, I think if we zoom out even more, maybe not. So that horizontal line is based off these points right here, which was Brexit. So we're back up into Brexit levels, or I guess it's not technically pre-Brexit because it's still, this was when Brexit was happening. These were the levels when Brexit happened. That's where price is currently at. So what I see for this, if we do get significant rejections, we can see the clear double top right there. However, we are still waiting for some clear rejection to the downside. If we do get more, I guess, better rejections to the downside, if candlesticks tell us to sell on this, we'll be looking to sell down to this level or this zone down here. It could potentially be, I haven't looked at this on a large time frame to see what the Fibonacci retracement level is from post or pre-Brexit highs to right now, this most current high. This could be a significant Fibonacci retracement level. I'm going to let you go ahead and do the Fibonacci retracement on that just to save some time. AUD USD is up next. You can see I have a simple trend line drawn as well as this trend line drawn right here. Some simple horizontal lines, support and resistance levels up above, and one zone that price is currently in. We can draw a couple more horizontal lines, which I think I had drawn. They must have just erased. No, we can draw a couple more of those in. Basically, we're waiting for the reaction out of this zone. If it goes bearish, then we'll be looking for a retest of the zone and then a retest of this trend line, and then we'll wait to see how it reacts to this trend line up here. However, if price does break back below this, then we'd be looking for a lower low. You can enter in to a sell out of the break and retest of the zone or a break and retest of this trend line, whichever you prefer. So that's what I see for AU. EJ is up next. So EJ has been trending. It's been consolidating for quite some time. As you can see, no really significant movement to the upside or the downside. It has been more of like I guess a waviness with EJ. So you could have rode these up and down. However, that's not generally the way that I go about trading. So that's not what I was doing. So what are we looking for? Well, we do have a break and a retest of this trend line, and then you can see the bullishness coming off of the retest of this trend line. I'll zoom out so you can see where this trend line is drawn off of. The ultimate high based off of this point, and then a break and retest right here. So we have bullish momentum coming off of that. If we do get a break and a retest of this zone, then I'd be looking for this horizontal line up here to be retested next. Adversely, if we do get a break and a retest below this zone, then I'd be looking for a retest of this trend line over here. UCAD is after that. UCAD is doing what UCAD does. It's been consolidating. UCAD does this. Some people love UCAD, some people hate it. It's very much so a consolidating pair with significant movement, though. So it's kind of strange. UCAD moves very quickly. But it still consolidates in a range. So with UCAD, it's currently in a zone. There is a trend line right below where the zone is. If price consolidates in this zone, it could actually hit the trend line while it's still in the zone. So I'm looking for some sort of reaction, either bullish or bearish, out of the break and retest, or just the retest of this zone and or this trend line, which is represented by the arrows. So if we get a retest of the trend line, then I'll look for it to go bullish. If we get a break of the trend line, I'll be looking for a retest of the same trend line before going bearish. This trend, or this horizontal line down here, is pretty significant as far as many times as it's been tested and retested. And so I would not be surprised if we got bearish momentum if price does reach all the way back down here, if we got some sort of bearish momentum coming off of this horizontal line right here. However, it's, it can be broken and continue downward. So just something to be aware of, if nothing else. GU is up next. You notice I really don't have any zones drawn on GU. I was having a hard time actually charting up GU. I haven't traded GU in quite some time, and just looking at it, I just wasn't a fan of it, honestly. So I've got this downward channel drawn. You can see the break and the retest of this trend line, or the top of the downward channel. And you can see price is currently just consolidating where it's at. This level up here, I guess the next horizontal line above where price is pretty significant. We have multiple retests of it. And so I think that if we are going to see some resistance, that's where it's going to be. However, we do have good significant bullish momentum coming up, and so I'm not entirely convinced that GU is going to continue pushing upwards, but I do think that it'll probably reach this horizontal line before going bearish. We can draw an upward channel based off of this. I just didn't write didn't draw the top of the channel, but you can go ahead and draw it in your charts. So I'm not convinced either way with GU where it's going to continue to go from here. And last but not least, we have GJ for this week. A couple of zones drawn for GJ, a couple of horizontal lines as well. Excuse me. I guess most significantly, we can see that the trend line, top trend line drawn, has a test right here, multiple retests right here, and then price is currently sitting right on it. So what I'm looking for with GJ significantly is a break or a clear rejection of this trend line. I can't really say which direction it's going to go. I don't have a prediction on this. I will note that 150 level is not too far away. We're currently setting at 147.7-ish, and so 150 is relatively close to there. That's the next quarter point. I mean, I could see price going bullish or bearish off of this retest of this trend line. It's a significant trend line, so I do expect for it to react pretty heavily to this, or move pretty heavily based off of its reaction to that trend line. But there's no distinctive direction that I think it's going to go as of yet. So this is something that you should definitely be keeping an eye on in the next, few candlesticks, if not couple of days. If you just want to wait this out and see how it acts this week, I think that probably beginning of next week we'll have a significant entry opportunity for GJ as well. It's just a waiting game right now to see what price is going to do. And so that wraps it up for this week's weekly charting series. Also, one other thing that I am going to change is instead of numbering them by the number of videos, I'm just going to write in the week that it is covering. That way, I don't have to write in episode numbers, just in case something like this happens again where I'm out for multiple weeks in a row. I'm not foreseeing that happening, but life is life, and so if that does happen, I don't want there to be major gaps in the numbers. So it's just going to be easier, and I think more beneficial, easier to find, easier for me to record and keep track of, and easier for you guys to find via YouTube search for the week of, instead of writing episode number blank. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as usual, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. And if you would like to reach out to me on Telegram, my Telegram contact information is in the description down below. So that's it. Thank you guys for checking it out, and I appreciate everybody's support as we get this back up and rolling. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. I'll talk to you on either Friday or Saturday.